Laker Nation, the Lakers took care of business in Game 1 versus the Heat in the NBA Finals with a blowout win, 116-98 fam, behind AD and LBJ in a barrage of three-point shots from KCP, Danny Green, Rajon Rondo, and others. Man, the Lakers probably shot some of their best from the field, especially in a pivotal game in the NBA Finals, man. I think they shot, 39 or 40% from three-point land. And at a point in time, probably shot about 60+% from three-point land. So we probably won't see that again. But hell, they shot the hell out of the ball this game against the Heat in Game 1. Lakers got 3 more dubs to go to get a chip, man. Mamba in 3. 1, 2, 3. Mamba. Man, feels great, man, to be be contending for an NBA championship, and hopefully we can win one, man. Let's get it done in honor of Kobe and Gigi. It's been too damn long, man. The job is not finished, but it feels great to be going towards an NBA championship. Miami will adjust. They will adjust Game 2, so the Lakers have to, stay sharp and start off better. Welcome to the Lake Show channel. If it's your first time to the channel and you're looking for a different flavor of Laker content on the tube and you value objectivity, rationale, logic, and substantive content from student against perspective that's based off of empirical data, and you love talking Lakers hoop like I do, then you've arrived to the right place. Consider subscribing. For those of you who are already subbed, switch that notification bell to get alerts when I drop videos, or follow me on Twitter, as when I drop videos on YouTube, I'll also drop them on Twitter. My Twitter link will be in the description. And lastly, Laker fam, can you show a Laker brother some love and switch that like button, as YouTube will share this video with more of Laker Nation. Now let's get into the game and my recap on it and my thoughts overall. First quarter, Lakers exchanged with the Miami Heat a few buckets with Bron, KCP, AD scoring to start, which was, I believe, 10-10. And then the Heat scored 13 straight points or so. Butler going 4 for 4 from the field, and Lakers having 2 turnovers in the midst of the Heat's good offensive stretch to start. He shot 75% from 3 to start, as Crowder was one of their main players knocking down 3-point shots. And the Heat's lead over the Lakers ballooned to as much as, I believe, 13 this game in Game 1. In the first quarter, Lakers were not aggressive in their pick and roll defense and allowed Butler and Dragic to penetrate with ease, and the Lakers weren't sharp on getting out to the shooters to start this game, particularly Jay Crowder, man. So the Lakers, were able to overcome a 13-point deficit by taking advantage of their size inside, with AD being defended by Iggy, Solomon Hill, and Derrick Jones, man. That was pretty much the story of this game. Dwight Howard being a bruiser next to AD. They couldn't control them on the boards, and the fact that the Heat were trying to go small and play, against AD and have those players on AD, man, it's barbecue chicken alert, period. So, the only size they're going to have somewhat is Bam Adebayo and Kelly Olynyk, but they're finesse bigs, so they're not going to be able to really contain with AD as much. I mean, probably the best chance they have is Bam Adebayo, but AD was taking it to everybody this game. The Heat will have no shot of defending AD with those players. Iggy, of course, was an elite defender. He still could defend, at a high level, but he's older now. He's 36, I believe. Well, he didn't play basketball for several months prior to this, and then you add in the COVID situation and the shutdown and all that stuff. So he didn't play basketball for probably almost, half a year. So, he's not probably in rhythm and in basketball shape. So he won't be as solid on the perimeter, and especially in the post against AD, man, who was 6'11" or so. Iggy probably about 6'6", 6'7". So he's giving up about 3 to 4 inches. AD was able to score down low and attack, and get boards and things of that nature. He had 11 points in the first quarter. His activity, rim running and getting early post positioning, was key to not allowing the Heat to dial in on him in the half quarter. So the Lakers were increasing their pace, and that was the reason. And they were negating the Heat's defensive plans to double AD as they did earlier in this game. So good adjustment by Anthony Davis, and he was showing a good improvement, man. A very good improvement in getting into his offense faster, and most importantly, passing out of double teams, which he struggled with the vast majority of the season. But that allowed guys like KCP to get open shots, which have been there all season long, and will continue to be there for KCP and Danny Green. So and others due to LBJ and AD commanding so much attention from whoever they're facing. They're always going to be a threat on the court, so there's going to be a lot of focus on them. So players like that, players like Danny Green, KCP, and the role players, they have to knock down open shots because it's going to be there for them. All they need to do is hit, at a decent clip or above decent clip, and they did that in the first quarter, shooting from three about 65%, I believe, going 11 for 17 if my math is correct. I was never good at math, but hell, it is what it is. So Lakers went on a 19-3 run to end the first quarter. I thought Coach Spo made two mistakes towards the end of the first quarter, and one was going small. Having Derrick Jones and Solomon Hill and Anthony Davis. Those two cannot defend him whatsoever, and Iggy as well. Number two, having Iggy, Solomon Hill, and Derrick Jones Jr. all on the floor at the same time, man. Those three players. You got to have Kelly Olynyk or something like that on the floor to at least contain AD. And then on top of that, the spacing was poor for the Miami Heat. So that was a very bad coaching mistake by Coach Spo from what I've observed watching this game. Lakers go up after trailing by 13, 31-28 on an Alex Caruso left corner three to close the first quarter. And then second quarter, Heat went scoreless, I believe, for 4 minutes in the second quarter, down the stretch of the second quarter. Thought the Lakers did a good job contesting shots at the rim, closing off the lanes to penetrators like Butler and Goran Dragic, who had success in the beginning of the game. So, unlike it did in the, like I said, in the first several minutes of the first quarter, they were attached to shooters, which is why Miami struggled offensively. A lot of what they like to do is do driving kicks with Goran Dragic and Jimmy Butler, who will act as the primary ball handlers, setting up the offense, driving kick, and then sometimes, of course, Tyler Hero as well. But he's more of a perimeter oriented scorer offensively and player overall. But Lakers, in the midst of holding the Heat scoreless for 4 minutes, scored 13 points in between that time. I thought at the 1+ minute mark, Crowder, man, that was a dirty move on LBJ, attempting to lock his arm and extend it, as they both dove for the loose ball. Miami is grit, hustle, and playing hard, man. They have a very high motor in that aspect, but that wasn't Miami Heat basketball right there. What Jay Crowder did, that was straight up dirty, man. No place for that in the game of basketball. Shit like that, it's just uncalled for, trying to injure a player. And then Kuz, nice pass to AD at the 40-second mark on the dribble handoff for the dunk. Like how Kuz wasn't looking to, just gun as he usually would on the offensive end. Little things like that, unselfishness, defending with energy, rebounding, they'll go a long way. And that's when he'll find his game and his rhythm, when he's not trying to force the issue. But the Heat had no interior defense with Crowder at center, man. Iggy, I think the lineup was Crowder, Iggy, Tyler Hero, Butler, and Duncan Robinson on the floor, which played into the Lakers' hands. The Lakers were just able to beat them up in the paint, man, in terms of on the boards. Lakers were able to, get to the rim at will. And again, Coach Spo made a big mistake, man, going small with no interior defense when LeBron James and Anthony Davis are great interior scorers. Lakers went 11 for 17 from three on 65% shooting in the first half. And went on a 25, I believe, to 3 run to end the first half. Lakers playing how they should play, from the inside out. AD punishing smaller defenders of the Heat, and LBJ headhunting on pick and roll switches from the Heat, whether it was Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson. That's barbecue chicken on there, man, for LBJ to get to the cup. I liked how LBJ was adjusting, expecting the defense to come over with the spin opposite of the defense, or he'll have a hop step to pause and then get a shot off, or a kick out to an open shooter. the Lakers' shots from three were falling, so that allowed AD and LBJ to do what they do best and eat inside, man. Lakers up 17, 65 to 48. And then Lakers bench outscoring the Heat's bench 20-10. That was also a big component of this game, particularly in the first half, and what got the Lakers the lead, man. The bench coming through was solid. And, of course, KCP and Danny Green, like I said, they need to average double digits, 10 points or above, in this series in the finals to really be a threat on the floor, so that, again, AD and LeBron James are able to, drive and kick, and then, have shooters that can open up the floor for them and allow them to go one-on-one or go to the cup, and they did that this game. So props to them. AD, I believe, with 16 points, KCP 10 points, LeBron James with 9 points, did a good job facilitating, finding the shooters, and being, a threat. The shots, like I said, are going to continue to be there, man. It's just they have to knock down open shots. It was there all season long. It's going to continue to be there for the NBA Finals as well. A key too, and a boost for the Laker role players and Lakers as a team. When the Lakers were coming back to overcome that 13-point deficit and also get this big lead in the first half, LBJ, I believe, was at least out for 5 minutes stretches throughout the time that the Lakers overcame that 13-point deficit, and on top of that, getting a bigger lead in the second quarter. So, that's confidence in your players overall and in your roster, because, of course, the knock on the Lakers is supposedly they don't have depth, and that's not true. We all know that's not true, Laker Nation. And the fact that Frank Vogel was able to trust them, it boosts their confidence and allows them to grow into their roles, because they're being naturally, organically growing due to that trust, because they're performing, and even if they're not, they're failing forward. So to have a coach that's going to trust you with your leader and the best player in the team, and LeBron James, off the floor, says a lot about Frank Vogel and his trust within the role players, and overall just the depth of this team. Moving on to the third quarter, if the Heat are going to play D like this and switch on pick and roll defense with LBJ, with Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero, this is what's going to happen. A score or a foul or both for LeBron James. No way Duncan Robinson has the foot speed or strength to contain LBJ. The Heat are going to get destroyed if they continue to switch on D. I expect Coach Bo to make adjustments in game 2, but LBJ was clearly headhunting on switches as a ball handler for Robinson or Tyler Hero, similar to what teams do to get Lou Williams one-on-one, as he's a poor defender, as well as Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson are. They're not good one-on-one defenders. They're good team defenders, but it is what it is. So, and that's why they play zone defense to hide defensive liabilities as well. Lakers size killing the Heat overall in this game. Dwight Howard being the bruiser next to AD actually enables, of course, Anthony Davis, because they have to deal with a center like Dwight Howard, who is a great rebounder and gets offensive rebounds. So, the Heat have no true size or any aspect of having a true bruiser to contain them in the inside. Bam Adebayo is a pretty solid rebounder, but he's undersized at the center position. He's also, I believe, 6'8", 6'9". So he's a power forward. AD has at least an inch, maybe 2 inches on him, and Dwight Howard's a true bruiser. So as well as Kelly Olynyk, he's a finesse big. Both of them are finesse big. So they have the Heat have no true bruiser in the inside at all. They don't have a true rim protector per se. Bam Adebayo is not bad, but he's not gonna instill fear or whatever in attacking the cup. So the Lakers are going to be able to eat in the inside the vast majority of this series, and that's one of their biggest advantages coming into the series. The Lakers' biggest lead in this game was 32 points. Kendrick Nunn for the Heat chipped into that a little bit, scoring off the bench for the Heat with, I believe he had 8 to 10 points in the third quarter, and overall I believe he had 18 points. But the Lakers outscored Miami Heat 28-19 to take a 93-67 lead going into the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, the Heat was without Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo, both who sustained injuries. Dragic had a sore foot. Bam with a sore or strained shoulder. He didn't have the firepower they needed to stay in this game or cut into the deficit in a large way. However, Kendrick Nunn for the Heat was chipping at the lead in the fourth quarter. Finished, I believe, like I said, with 18 points overall for the Heat. The Lakers got a little complacent with the big lead and played the lead and not the game, stopping their defense and energy, allowing none and others to get to the rim easily and score. With big leads, you don't want to take your foot off the gas pedal and develop bad habits. But nonetheless, the Lakers were able to close this game. I didn't like how Frank Vogel kept LeBron James and AD in the game and subbed them out late in the fourth quarter. As if it was just for stat padding reasons, in my opinion. With injuries sustained to Dragic and Bam Adebayo, and Butler, banged up with a tweaked ankle. I don't think it was a good or smart thing to do. Play it safe. Let the role players develop some chemistry and confidence. But let's get to the team stats and player stats to close out this game recap. Lakers 39% from three-point line, going 15 of 38 from three, and KCP and Danny Green mostly accounting for those threes, especially in the first half, man. So it was a great sign to see. Because AD and LeBron James are going to need at least two shooters or so, or at least one dependable shooter to hit open J, so that will open up the floor for them to drive and or go one-on-one, where their defense will have to stay home attached to the shooters. But Lakers 25 for 27 from the free throw line, attacking the cup, man, getting offensive rebounds, drawing fouls. Great job they did. Not sending the Heat as well to the free throw line, who only shot, I believe, 14 free throws this entire game. So good job by the Lakers capitalizing on the line. I think this is probably by far the highest they shot from the line. 90+%, if my math is right. And then Lakers 60 to 42 in rebounds, destroying the Miami Heat on the glass. Too much size the Lakers have with AD and Dwight Howard on the floor. It's going to be a problem for the Heat, man, to keep them off the boards. The Lakers held Bam to 8 points and Tyler Hero to 18 points. That's great defense on them both. I thought Dwight Howard did a great job on Bam Adebayo. Of course, he was injured, with a strained shoulder. I think he didn't play probably a good amount of the third, and of course all the fourth he didn't play. But nonetheless, to not allow him to have an impact on the game early in the first half was great defense by the Lakers. The talk was about Bam disrupting AD, being able to match up well with him and this, that, and the third. But he took it to him and to other Heat defenders in the inside and outside. So, so much for that. But also exceptional job by the Lakers. They did a great job with Duncan Robinson, man, who they held to 0 points, a fucking bagel, man. My main concern was him and Tyler Hero and Crowder, but particularly him because he's their best three-point shooter, man. He has a very quick trigger, so you have to stay attached to him. You cannot leave him under any circumstances in this series. That's one key. Do not leave him overall, man. Stay attached to him, period. Stay attached to him. Get well acquainted with him because you cannot leave him wide open because it's automatic, man. He's similar. I'm not saying that he is Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, but he has that type of impact, and that he could get streaky and he could shoot that proficient or near that proficient, man. He moves very well without the ball, so he has a quick trigger similar to what they do, but obviously he's not as impactful, but he to a lesser degree can be. So it's important to stay attached to him. So they did a great job not allowing him to shoot freely, playing ball denial defense, staying attached to his hip off ball sets. So great job by the Lakers on Duncan Robinson, man. Keep the same energy, keep the same defensive effort on Duncan Robinson throughout this entire NBA Finals. And then lastly, they held the Heat to 98 points. Great defense by the Lakers overall, man. Player stats: AD, 34 points, 3 blocks, 5 assists. 9 rebounds for Anthony Davis. LBJ 25 points, 9 assists, 13 rebounds. KCP 13 points. Danny Green 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and then Caruso 10 points, 4 rebounds. All right, Laker fan, great start to the NBA Finals. Got 3 more to go, man. Let's keep our foot on the gas pedal, foot on their necks, not allow them to have any confidence, and continue to play hard. But the next games, man, we have to start stronger. As we didn't start strong to begin this game in Game 1, but we finished strong, and that's all that matters as well. But we got to start stronger. So that's the main thing going into Game 2. So they're going to adjust. They're going to adjust. So we have to be ready. Hopefully, Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo are able to play. Man, I'd rather beat the Heat at full strength. hopefully those two cats are, they're going to be able to play, and it's not a serious injury for them with the strained shoulder, I believe, and a sore right foot. I think it was plantar fasciitis, and if that's the case, man, I don't think Goran Dragic is going to be there throughout the series. I think he might be done if that's the case, but hopefully not. But anyway, great win for the Lakers. Keep the same game plan, man. Play inside out through AD, and continue to space the floor, continue to play high-level defense, and continue to rebound the Miami Heat, and we'll be fine. We'll be in good, have a great opportunity to win the series, man. So 3 more wins, Laker fam. 3 more wins, and we're going to have an NBA championship, man. All right, Laker fam. It's a wrap for the podcast. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next game recap. Peace out.